Hello, this is Rakesh, and this video is to understand the basics of clocks. Before we go ahead and understand the formula, the tips and tricks to solve the questions on clock, let us understand the variety of questions asked in this area. There will be two questions which are widely asked from the area of clock is that you'll be given some time, say you'll be given say time say 2:25, and you'll be asked to find the angle between the minute hand and the hour hand, the exact degree. And similarly you'll be asked to find the time wherein both the hands will be say 90 degree and say between 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. So we'll be dealing with these two questions and then we'll be moving to questions advanced. The easiest way to understand the clock is that there is a circular race going on between minute hand and hour hand. Let me just draw the structure of clock. So this is 1, this is 2, this is 4, this is 5, this is 7, this is 8, this is 10, and this is 11. So exactly at 12 o'clock you'll find that both minute hand and hour hand coincides. So there is 0 degree between minute hand and hour hand. So what happens after an hour? That means at 1 o'clock what happens? You'll find that minute hand would have moved the entire circle, that is the entire 360 degree, and within that time only the hour hand, the position of hour hand would be something, it will be like this. You find that the hour hand has moved one part, and this part, this entire part will be 30 degree because the entire circle is divided into 12 parts. So 12 part is 360 degrees, so one part is 30 degree. So let me write it here that the hour hand moves at the same time 30 degree. So if I compare both minute hand and hour hand, the speed of minute hand and hour hand, I can say that the speed of minute hand and speed of hour hand is the distance moved by them in the given time, and when I resolve it I get 12 is 12, which makes sense because for the given moment of time, the in an hour the minute hand moved the 12 part and the hour hand moved for the 1 part, so the ratio of their speed is 12:1. So we'll be using this particular ratio to solve the questions. Now moving ahead, since most of the questions are asked about the angle between the hands, so we have to take the relative distance, relative angular distance between the minute hand and hour. So we can use this results only. So I can say in 60 minutes, minute hand gains 360 minus 30, that is 330 degree, right? So I am basically talking about this area that the minute hand has gained this much, the green part, which is nothing but 330 degree. So 330 degree is gained in 60 minutes. So 1 degree is gained in 60 by 330 degree. If I resolve again, I'll be getting 2 by 11 minutes. So this is the formula to solve questions based on clocks. Angle of 1 degree between minute hand and hour hand, it takes 2 by 11 minutes. How to apply this formula to solve question? So let us take a questions, that question 1, and that is at what time between 12 and 1 the angle is 90 degree. It will happen 2 times between 12 and 1. So we'll find the exact time. Now how I would do it? I'll start with 12 o'clock. So exactly at 12 o'clock the situation would be this, that both the hands are coinciding, so there will be 0 degree difference between them. Now to gain 1 degree, minute hand will take 2 by 11 minutes, right? Now we have to gain how much? 90 degree. So to gain 90 degree, it will take 90 into 2 by 11 minutes. and this will happen exactly after 12 o'clock. So first time both the hands will be at 90 degree, will be at 90 into 12 by 11 minute past 12. So this is the first time it will happen. Similarly, for the second time, it has to gain 270 degree. The minute hand has to gain 270 degree over Rn, and that will happen at, and that will take 270 into 2 by 11 minute after 12 o'clock. So this is the second time both the clocks will be at 90 degree between 1 and between 12 and 1. So let us take few more questions based on the same. Let's see, at what time between 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. both the clocks will be at say 90 degree. So I'll start at 1 p.m. We should always start at this point. So at 1 p.m. the situation would be like this, that it's 12, it's 1, and this is 2. So at 1 p.m. both the hands, the position of both the hands will be this. Fine. So if you observe that the minute hand is 30 degree behind the Rn, right? So first of all, minute hand will gain 30 degree over Rn. So there will be a situation wherein minute hand and Rn will coincide, and then it will gain further 90 degree to make angle 90 degree between 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. So in total I can say that the gain has to be made for 30 plus 90, and that is 120 degree. And we know from the formula that 1 degree gain takes 2 by 11 minutes. So 120 degree will take 120 into 2 by 11 minutes, and this will happen after 1 o'clock. So the first time between 1 and 2 both the hands will be at 90 degree at this time. Correct? Okay, what will be the next time? The minute hand has to gain 270 degree over Rn, and since it is already 30 degree behind, so in total it has to gain 30 plus 270, which is 300 degree, and this will happen at 300 into 2 by 11 minutes after 1 o'clock. So these are the two times that minute hand and Rn will be at 90 degree. Fine. Now many times the question is asked that how many times within 12 hours, or in 12 hours how many times both the hands will be at 90 degree. From the previous two questions we get an idea that it will happen 2 times in every hour, but it is not so. You will find that between 2 and 4, that is between these 2 hours, it will happen only 3 times. The reason being, exactly at 3 o'clock both the hands will be at 90 degree. The student can check the same with the formulas. Apply the formula, find the time when both the hands are at 90 degree. So you'll find at 3 o'clock exactly both the hands are at 90 degree, and the same happens at 9 o'clock also. So between 2 and 4 it will happen only for 3 times. The same will happen between 10 and 8 and 10 o'clock 3 times. Rest in every hour it will happen 2 times. So I can say within 12 hours it should have been 24 times, but since we are losing one at 3 o'clock and one at 9 o'clock, so it will happen at 22 times. This is the direct answer you should remember. So within 24 hours definitely it will happen for 44 times. Similarly, other questions like when they will be at 180 degree or when they will be overlapping, questions can be solved. For example, say 180 degree questions. For example, if I solve at what time between 1 and 2 both the hands will be at 180 degree. So it's simple. You have to just see what is the position exactly at 1 o'clock. So at 1 o'clock the position would be this, right? So it is all, the minute hand is 30 degree behind the R end and it has to gain 180 degree. So definitely it has to gain 30 plus 180. So it will be 210 degree, and this will happen in 210 into 2 by 11 minute. So this is how the question based on finding the angles between minute hand and R end are calculated. In the next part, I'll deal with how to find angle if the time is given. Here we are actually finding the time when the angle was given, right? So let us move to the next part. So I'll start with the question and say at 225, what is the angle between minute hand and R end? So let us see what is the position of both the hands at 225. So this is 12, this is 1, this is 2. So exactly at 2 o'clock, the position of the hands are this, and at 225, this is say 3, this is 4, and this is 5. The minute hand would have moved to position 5, and R end must have also moved some part. So this is how it has moved. Fine. So now this question is also easy to solve. What you can do is you can just find out that how much degree the minute hand has moved. So minute hand has moved 5 into 30 degree, because this one part is 30 degree, so it has moved 5 parts, so it will move 150 degree. Fine. And at the same time, since the speed of minute hand and R hand is 12:1, so for in the given time, the minute hand, if it moves 12, the R hand will move one part. So how much degree the R hand would have moved if minute hand has moved 150 degrees? So R hand would have moved 150 by 12 degree. Fine. So I'm talking about this part actually. But since the R end was already ahead this much at 2 o'clock, and this is nothing but 60 degrees. So to find this particular angle, I can say that it will be 150 degree, that is the entire blue part, minus 60 degree, because this is the degree which R end was already ahead, plus 150 by 12. If you solve it, you'll get it 77.5 degree. So this is how usually we solve questions of clock, wherein we have to find the degree between the minute hand and R end for any given time. Now just to avoid these calculation, I can directly give you a shortcut formula to solve such questions. And the shortcut formula is, suppose the time is A is B, for A hours and B minutes sort of. So if I make a correlation, A here is 2 and B here is 25, right? So the angle between minute hand and R end will be given by the formula, and that is B into 5.5 minus 30 into A, and take the mod of it, because the angle should always be positive. Sometime we'll be getting negative also, so the mod will give you the positive angle. Now let's apply the formula to get the solution of this question itself. So B here is 25, so I'll be getting 25 into 5.5 minus 30 into 2, and I'll take the mod of it. So 25 into 5.5 is, so 25 into 5.5 is 137.5 minus 30 into 2 is 60, and again it will be mod of 77.5, which effectively is 77.5 degree. So this is the end of the first part of the clock. In the second video, I'll be dealing with the questions based on false clock and two clocks. Thank you.